let us see in fourth lecture of chapter number 1, classification of the chemical reaction. The chemical reaction is to be involved in, there are two types, if the homogeneous reaction or the heterogeneous reaction. Because of this reaction is to be very important in presence of the raw material and reagent is present in the one phase or they are present in different phase. Now you remember by the homogeneous reaction. This homogeneous reaction is one of the reaction by all the raw materials, all the reagents or all the intermediate that's supposed to be present in one phase, that is known as homogeneous reaction. Now it also two types, catalytic and non-catalytic reaction. Catalytic means this reaction is required as a catalyst. With help of the catalyst, this reaction is completed. For example, nitration, sulfonation, Friedel-Crafts reaction, condensation, esterification, hydrolysis. These are some example of the catalytic reaction. And non-catalytic, there is no requirement of the any types of the catalyst of the reaction. This reaction should be present in one phase and it is completed without of the catalyst. For example, combustion, cracking, pyrolysis. These are some examples by the non-catalytic reaction that can be performed without using of the catalyst are there. So homogeneous reaction are the two type, catalytic and non-catalytic reaction. Now you remember heterogeneous reaction. Heterogeneous reactions are also have this is the reactant as well as you remember in the there is intermediates, solvent, catalyst, all can have to be present in different phases. If there are two phases or more than two phases, that is known as heterogeneous reaction. Now this heterogeneous reaction is also classified in different type. There is a gas and liquid reaction. Gas is one phase, liquid is another phase. This is one of the type of the heterogeneous reaction, like the polymerization, halogenation, aminolysis. These are some example of the gas and liquid reaction. Now another is the gas-solid reaction. One phase is the gas, second phase is the solid, and they are also reacted by in the presence of the oxidation reaction. So remember by the SO2, as well as there is a in presence of the there is a hydrogenation reaction, dehydrogenation. These are some types of the reaction that is to be included by the there is heterogeneous reaction, as well as there are liquid solid reaction. One is the phase liquid, second is the solid, and both have to be reacted to each other in the different phase, and that also obtain the product of the reaction. Another is also gas, liquid and solid reaction. One phase is solid, one phase is liquid, one phase is gas. All can be combined together and they are also obtain the chemical reaction, oxidation, hydrogenation. These are some example with respect of the gas and liquid, solid and heterogeneous reaction. Now we'll like to discuss in another part is there, very important, that always asked in the examination, and that is nothing but the batch and continuous operation. I discussed in the last of the lecture. Now any chemical operation is carried out in the industries, so that should be required by the different types of the there is equipments are required, as well as this reaction is to be performed by the completion of the reaction in presence of the some of the equipment. So industry have to be perform this chemical reaction in the form of the batch and continuous operation. When the small quantity of the chemicals or the raw material is converted in the product, that is known as a batch process. Continuous process, generally very large. There is a huge, large scale industry, continuous process, they are always operated, and that is very huge of the raw material, reagent, and that reaction is the continuous, and that can be formed in the product of the reaction. Now in the examination you have to ask, what about the difference between batch operation and continuous operation? I also explained there are number of the points are there with respect of the batch and continuous operation. First point is there. The calculated raw material is fed in one lot and the products are removed after some time. Now this process are the lot wise process. You remember batch operation is the lot wise. So they are obtained the product. First lot, second lot, third lot. First is completed, then second. Second is completed, then third. This lot wise process is the batch operation. Now continuous operation, this is the one-time feeding of the raw material, and this is the continuous product is to be obtained. Raw material is continuously added and product is to be continuously formed. This is the difference between batch operation and continuous operation. Second difference is the apparatus is ideal during the charging and discharging process. Now apparatus is very ideal, means that is a one of the particular systems are there. This is no change are there. Their material is first charged, then after the reaction completed it is discharged. This operation is continuous. But you consider in the continuous process that this is the only one time charging is required. One material is to be raw material is charges continuously, they are obtained the product of the reaction. This is the one of the difference between the two operations. Now third is the charging and discharging operation are require more manual labors. Because of this process are generally no automatic operation, manual labors are required by the charging, discharging and another process is to be required. But you consider continuous process, charging and discharging operation is easier, and this is generally you remember in the some of the modified instrument that's supposed to be used, and that is a less manual labors. Labor is not required more because that machinery have to be automatically continuously modified instrument they are supposed to be used by this continuous operation. Now fourth point is there temperature. Some of the parameters, that is the thermodynamic parameter, temperature, pressure, concentration may not be remain constant in all batches. First batch is completed, second batch is completed, third batch is completed all the time. This value or this parameter, it does not remains to be same. It can be changed. But you consider in the continuous process, is all the parameter is to be one time they are adjusted. So continuously that have to be in the same quantity or the same types of the that parameter is remains there constantly, they are work continuously. So there is no change can be occur. But you consider in the this is the batch operation. It may be there is a difference are there that can be in the batch wise. Fifth point is there. The rate of the reaction does not remain constant during the entire process. Generally, the rate of the reaction, it can be changed. So some parameter have to be changed by each and every batch. So the rate of the reaction is also like to be affected. Now you consider continuous process. Due to full automation, rate of the reaction remains constant. One time they are adjusted, no further of the change can be there. Entire product that can be uniformly obtained. No change can be occur. Sixth point is there. It requires more energy due to the alternate heating and cooling. Now this is the process that sometimes there is a loss of the energy, loss of the some types of the heating, cooling, that process is to be operated. But it is not constantly that process is to be operated. Sometimes there also the loss can be takes place. But you consider in the continuous process, it can be generally no loss is there. The raw material is constantly heated, constantly cooling. There is no loss of the heat, no loss of the energy. So it can be performed. This reaction is completed in. This is the less time are required. As well as you consider in the another point, less product per man hour is to be obtained. Product quantity is to be less. This is also not as a sufficient yield is to be there. And that is not in the maximum 100%. But you consider in continuous process, more products per man hours is to be obtained. Product quantity is to be more. So 100% they are supposed to be obtained. And another point is quality control is very difficult. Now you consider in batch process, this operation is generally difficult operation. This is the generally in the quality control is to be difficult. By each and every batch that's supposed to be adjusted. It may be the variation takes place. But you consider in continuous process, high quality control is to be obtained. So there is no variation. It is to be one time they are adjusted. No variation can be occur. Another point is that they require much smaller and less expensive equipment. Generally the equipments are no more cost because this is the batch process. This is very small scale, and that instrument is also have to be very small size, as well as this also the not in the modified instrument. But you consider in the continuous process, it is to be very good quality, bigger, huge quantity, more expensive equipment that's supposed to be there, one time investment, so it can go in the continuously in very long time. This is one of the advantages. Now another last point is there. Batch operation is the less profitable because it is run by the small scale industries, and you remember this is the profit is to be less, but you consider in continuous operation, it is a more profitable. It is a generally the multinational companies, that also the large scale, this process is to be always preferred. So this is the difference you remember in the form of the batch operation and continuous operation. You always ask in the examination, you're supposed to write all the point, 3 marks will be there, and you differentiate between batch operation and continuous operation. Now the another point is there, conversion, selectivity and yield. Now generally this term of the conversion, it is effectively used by any types of the raw material that is supposed to be converted in the products, and product is to be obtained by the reactant. So that is the efficiency as well as yield to describe the amount of the reactant is consumed, or it is converted in the form of the products, and that is known as, you remember, as conversion. So this is also the related by their percentage in the raw material is converted in the percentage of the product, that is known as conversion. Now selectivity, it is referred generally in the any types of the reactions that's supposed to be used, and you can also like to select number of the conditions as well as number of the thermodynamic parameters which has to be used, and that have to be more favorable to obtain the product of the reaction, and that is known as the selectivity of the parameter, that is to increase the yield of the products, and that you remember it is also the important generally used in the different purpose of the chemical reaction. Yield is there. Yield means that is actual amount of the product is to be formed in the reaction. Suppose you can take 1 grams of the reactant, and how much the grams of the product is obtained. So that is expected yield is supposed to be 1.2 gram, means the 1 gram of the reactant is to be converted to form in the 1.2 grams of the product, means the 100% yield is obtained. And that is the find out with help of the these 3 terms that may be asked in the examination. With 3 marks will be there. What is the conversion? What is selectivity? What is the yield? So you can also have to be explained. Now this is one of the reaction you remember as phenol. In the concentrated HNO3 is one of the reagent, and phenol is the reactant, and it is converted. So it is obtained para-nitrophenol 80%. This is the yield is there. Ortho-nitrophenol 20%. This yield can be obtained by this chemical reaction, and that name is given as yield is there. This is the 80%, or that may be the 20%, you remember. As well as you consider in like the nitrogen and H2 gas, that is reacted and it is to be obtained in ammonia. So that also have to be near about 10 to 15%. That is nearly the formation of the ammonia is there, and by applying the different condition, you have to also change the percentage, as well as some of the, there is a thermodynamic parameter, it has to be maintained, standard is maintained, and this reaction goes to the more yield formation is to be occur. Now remember this way, this is the all is the important. Now next is the intellectual property, IP value, that is the also importance you remember. This intellectual property is to be also asked in exam. What is the intellectual property is there? Which one is the intellectual property you like to be studied? Now first is the, that is the, it can be refer, that is the creation in your mind. It includes the invention, literacy and artistic works and symbols, names, image and design used in the commerce. And that name is given as, you remember, in the form of the number of the industrial property, it can be included. Patent, invention, trademarks, industrial design, geographic indication. These are the some types of the intellectual property that's supposed to be present, and that property you also ask in examination. What is a intellectual properties there. So that time you have to write patent, trademarks, industrial design, geographic indication. These are the some types of the, this is the present in the form of the intellectual property. It can be there. Now the next of the lectures we like to study what about the patents, what about the trademark, what about the industrial design, and this is the geographic indications. This can be discussed on the next of the lectures. Thank you.